Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hi, it's me, Terry Davis, and welcome to another episode of Around the World Today here on Realtario Podcasts, or as we've decided to call it, Podcasts by Realtario. And this is episode 9 of series 3, or tres. I'm getting a bit confusing here. And we are looking, as the title suggests, at populism. Can a populist politician do anything wrong, even if they're incompetent? Excuse me, I've just had a drink. So, my thinking in this, if you're reading along the blog, you will see that it is there. And I'm going to read you what I've actually written, because it's actually in the bio below, when the blog comes up. So, basically, I've been sitting here where I record the podcasts, because I've been spending more of my time in this room. It has a lovely view, and it overlooks Swansea. Right now it's raining. Go figure. But it's still a lovely view. But anyway, I've been sitting here and I've been seeing so many comments. You know, when you flick back to Facebook and you click and you see the comments, like on the Prime Minister's Facebook page, Donald Trump. He's another one, like on news stuff. If the media are criticising Donald Trump, well, according to them, these people think that Trump is doing an awesome job. But actually, is Donald Trump doing an awesome job? You know, and we'll look at that later, and we'll also look at Boris. But what I wrote was, so I've been noticing an increasing number of fake Facebook comments. So how you tell that these people are fake is that they don't have a profile picture. They've normally covered with, I don't know, the Union Jack or even the English St. George's flag. We should have a discussion about St. George and his links to England. And most of these people are classified as racist as well. The funny thing is, St. George was a white man. But anyway, I digress. Now, Facebook. Okay, so these people seem to, and I noticed mainly on the Welsh Assembly, people saying that they want to get rid of the Welsh Assembly. Now, okay, that's all well and good, but these people, again, supported Brexit. Now, they want to get rid of an institution that was set up by referendum. Do they not understand that this time last year, they were calling out for, us, the British people, and the British Parliament to follow what the British people wanted through a referenda. So they want to abolish the Welsh Assembly that has had 3 referendums since 1979. One to set it up, but it didn't go through in 1979. Then in 1997, there was a referendum for a Welsh Assembly. And then in 2011, they were granted more power. We were asked, do we want the Welsh Assembly to have more power? Welsh people said yes. But these people don't seem to understand that referendums have happened. People have supported it. Then you've got the thing, well, Boris was elected. We must now respect the will of the people and get out of the European Union. Well, at each time there's been an election for the Welsh Assembly, there's also been an election for the government of Wales. And each time people are turning up to vote. So that means that, there's kind of the same point there too. Now, let's get back to our friends, populist politicians, shall we? Now, it seems to be that they try and, with these fake Facebook profiles, what they're trying to do is build public momentum. So, the people who don't follow news and just read the comments and, they don't bother clicking on the story and reading the actual facts. Well, these people is what I call uneducated idiots. Sorry, but it is. Now, I went to a normal comprehensive school in a special needs background because I have dyslexia. Even I know how to read a newspaper, to go and fact check, to go and look for things myself. Then over this coronavirus pandemic, I've been watching, as part of my job for Real Terry, because someone has to physically be there to input videos to Facebook and to our website, so press conferences. So I've been watching the Trump press conference. I play an awesome game called Trump Bingo, and I have told you about it before. So, go back and listen to some of the episodes. But Trump Bingo is awesome. But anyway, I've been watching this. I watched the other night when Trump advocated bleach. And this is the first segment that I wish to play for you. And this was the day after Bleachgate, as I'm calling it. Before, if a president had done what he had done, stood on the podium in a press conference and advocated people injecting themselves with bleach, that president would have been called out for it a very long time, wouldn't he? Do you know what I mean? But here's what he said the day after, and who he blames.
Can you clarify your comments about injections of disinfectant?
No, I was asking a question sarcastically to reporters like you, just to see what would happen. Now, disinfectant for doing this, maybe on the hands, would work. And I was asking the question of the gentleman who was there yesterday, Bill, because when they say that something will last 3 or 4 hours or 6 hours, but if the sun is out or if they use disinfectant, it goes away in less than a minute. Did you hear about this yesterday? But I was asking a very sarcastic question to the reporters in the room about disinfectant on the inside. But it does kill it, and it would kill it on the hands, and that would make things much better. That was done in the form of a sarcastic question to the reporters.
So you were
okay.
You said you were being sarcastic, but some people may have misunderstood you. Do you want to just clarify?
Well, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would. Well, I think I did, but I wish they wouldn't. But I do think this. Yeah. I do think that disinfectant on the hands could have a very good effect. Now, Bill is going back to check that in the laboratory. It's an amazing laboratory, by the way. It's amazing, the work they do. So he's going to check because a hard surface, this is a hard surface, I guess maybe depending on whose hand you're talking about, right? But this is a hard surface. And the disinfectant has an unbelievable, it wipes it out. You saw it. Sun and heat and humidity wipe it out. And this is from tests. They've been doing these tests for, a number of months. And the result, so that I said, well, how do we do it inside the body or even outside the body with the hands? And disinfectant, I think would work. He thinks would work. But you use it when you're doing your hands. I guess that's one of the reasons they say wash your hands. But whether it's washing your hands or disinfectant on your hands, it's very good. So they're going to start looking at that, okay?
But just to clarify that, sir, are you encouraging You're not encouraging Americans to?
No, of course, no, of course. That was interior-wise. It said sarcastically. It was put in the form of a question to a group of extraordinarily hostile people, namely the fake news media. Okay,
Some doctors
so
felt they needed to clarify that after.
well, of course, all they had to do was see it was. Just, the way it was asked. I was looking at you. I know.
So basically, Trump blames the media for his own shortcomings because he couldn't join up the cognitive difference between what he was saying. Populist person again. Standing on a podium reading a speech, everyone's liking this speech, or you think everyone's liking this speech, and then you go off on a campaign rally. But you actually don't get anything done. Look at the death figures in America. And now we played the second one of our dear friend Boris Johnson, and I'm going to try and stay a bit quiet here because I haven't actually listened to it myself yet.
We are now beginning to turn the tide. If this virus were a physical assailant, an unexpected and invisible mugger, which I can tell you from personal experience it is, then this is the moment when we have begun together to wrestle it to the floor. And so it follows that this is the moment of opportunity. This is the moment when we can press home our advantage. It is also the moment of maximum risk. I understand your impatience. I share your anxiety. And I know that without our private sector, without the drive and commitment of the wealth creators of this country, there will be no economy to speak of. And yes, I can see the long-term consequences of lockdown as clearly as anyone. And so, yes, I entirely share your urgency. It's the government's urgency. And yet we must also recognize the risk of a second spike, the risk of losing control of that virus and letting the reproduction rate go back over 1. Because that would mean not only a new wave of...
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out.
So basically, sorry, George Stephanopoulos, and thank you for your ad. And basically, what we have is, no one's calling out the Prime Minister for the time that he's taken off. These populist Facebook profiles, you mention it, you get about 50 times of abuse. I've actually been told today by people that I should be sterilised. Do you know what I mean? You're going back to populism. This is what the Nazis did. Hello? Can a populist politician just be called out for their incompetence? Yes, they should be called out for their incompetence. At the end of the day, right, you give these people a free hand. You're telling them the sun is shining out of their backside and they're actually believing it, people. You don't need them to believe it. What we need is positive solutions to get us out of the mess that the government have got us into. This government in the United Kingdom, should we take Boris and his populism in that little last speech? Boris Johnson did not take it serious when he was Foreign Secretary in 2016 to 2018. Did he? Would it be his job to go out buying PPE with foreign suppliers? But he didn't, did he? Because the Health Department didn't. Matt Hancock, Jeremy Hunt, and then Theresa May. And then in 2019, Boris becomes Prime Minister. Still doesn't take it serious. Calls a general election, to get over his dream of Brexit. Back to referendums, are we? But at the end of the day, should populism be banned from politics? Okay, so I'm a Christian, and I've only got 1 minute to say this, so I'm going to say it very quickly. I'm a Christian, and I believe that, to make Jesus popular, on every TV show, is a very bad mistake. Do you know what I mean? You should find the person, because at the end of the day, populism stops becoming popular when the person falls out of grace. Now, that's all I wanted to say. A bit of a rant, but you've been listening to Around the World Today, Series 3, Episode 9, here on Real Terrio Podcasts. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope you are all staying safe. Besides the populism, but here we go.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Click, listen, enjoy.